From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte. Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the province's anti-tariff television ad campaign in the U.S. will be paused so Canada-U.S. trade talks can resume.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford is pulling the plug on his anti-tariff ads featuring former President Ronald Reagan on Monday, but not before the ads run throughout 2 World Series games this weekend. Ford says he decided to put the campaign on ice after speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney in hopes that this would restart trade talks with President Donald Trump. Carney is expected to encounter Trump as he heads into back-to-back summits in Asia. A White House economic advisor, meantime, says Trump has become frustrated with Canadian negotiators who are playing hardball. Kyle Duggan, The Canadian Press, Ottawa.
Manitoba's premier says this is no time for Ontario to pull TV ads about tariffs that have sparked outrage from U.S. President Trump. Trump lashed out at the ad campaign, which features footage of former U.S. President Ronald Reagan saying tariffs damage economies. Wab Canoe says the ads are accurate and powerful.
President Trump's damaging tariffs go completely against Mr. Reagan's legacy. And it's clear that these ads are working. So to my good friend Doug Ford, keep the ads on TV. They're effective, and this country is behind you.
Trump, meanwhile, has claimed the late president, quote, loved tariffs. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand is asking for an updated Indo-Pacific strategy, saying Canada's current policy for the region is outdated. She told the Canada 2020 think tank this week that the strategy no longer reflects Canada's economic ambitions in the Indo-Pacific region. She also says the policy doesn't reflect Canada's evolving relations with China or India, both of which the Carney government has reset. Authorities in Tennessee say a massive explosion that killed 16 people at an explosives plant this month was a chain reaction. They say it started in an area where workers used kettles to produce a mixture of explosives, setting off others that were stored nearby. And the Toronto Blue Jays have created a home run for Canadian businesses selling merchandise linked to the team. Bobby Mohammed owns sportswear shop Game On in Ottawa and says it's been hard to keep Jays products in stock.
Our hats that we received a few days ago with the American League Championship Series when they won, those hats were gone within maybe a couple hours.
Stock of other merchandise, such as Vladimir Guerrero Jr. jerseys, was down to just kids' sizes today, despite Game On getting daily shipments of new products. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Game 1 of the World Series between the Blue Jays and Los Angeles Dodgers goes tonight in Toronto. Rush's Geddy Lee, a loyal Jays fan, had some thoughts about the team going up against Shohei Ohtani.
It'll be pretty intense when he faces Toronto, but he is just the greatest player of our time. And so I think regardless of what happens, it's a privilege to get to watch a player of that caliber.
Jordan McDonald advanced to the men's final at the Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials with a 5-4 semifinal win over Scott Howard in Friday's early matchup. The Navan, Ontario native will face Winnipeg's Braden Calvert in the opening match of the best-of-3 final tonight. And Canadians Felix Auger-Aliassime and Denis Shapovalov both withdrew from their quarterfinal matches today at the Swiss Indoors Tennis Tournament. From the Canadian Press, I'm Lisa Laporte.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.